Hello Shoutbox out there. Today in this vlog I'm going to be telling you guys all about what I got to on my week so far, which is my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week. I hope you guys have all had a lovely week so far. On my Monday I had the day off work. I actually had Monday, Tuesday off work, which is very nice. On Sunday I did a split shift, so I did 10 till 3 and then 6 till like 12:44. Didn't finish till gone midnight, and we had 13 groups doing the quiz on Sunday night, and it was so busy. There was just chairs everywhere, tables everywhere from people just pulling chairs and tables from different places. So of course we had to do a massive clean up, and I was putting those glasses away, absolutely speeding around just trying to get everything done. And from where one of the glasses in glass washer got too hot, it just exploded in my hand, cut my thumb and my finger. So of course there's blood everywhere, glass over the floor, so I was like blimmin' so we then had to clean that up, which took even longer. And I thought I was never ever going to be getting out of there, and I was just so tired. My feet were killing me, my back was killing me, and I got dropped back by one of my colleagues. He kindly dropped me home. Got home and got into my PJs, had some toast and a cup of tea and a good sit down, and I then went off to bed. And on my Monday I got up after the longest, nicest, most well-needed sleep-in I have ever had, and it just felt so good. So I woke up nice and refreshed and nicely rested, and I then had some toast and a cup of tea for my breakfast. Finished writing my journal from last night, as I just didn't have the energy to just do anything. I just needed to get into my bed and sleep and just hibernate. I then was just watching a bit of TV, just listening to a bit of music. My mum had a Zoom meeting in the living room, so I had to tiptoe around her while she had that. My dad was at work, so was my older brother, sister and younger brother and sister, and it felt so good to not have to set an alarm and just have a nice lie-in. I was then just watching a bit of Netflix, listening to a bit of music, just enjoying and colouring in. And then my grandparents came over, which was a nice surprise having them over for the day, as they were having carpet put in their hallway of their house. And you come in the front door, and then there's the little like hallway, and then there's the kitchen, the downstairs bathroom, and the upstairs, and then the living room right in front. So of course they wouldn't be able to use the kitchen or the bathroom. And with the tablets my grandpa's on, he has to go to the toilet quite a lot, so they came over to ours so that you could use the facilities and stuff and not have to worry about trying to avoid going on their new floor that they were having put down. So it was nice having them over for the day, and my grandma treated us to Buddy's lunch, and I'm going to show you guys the Buddy's lunch I had now. The Buddy's lunch was so good. I had a tuna cheese onion lettuce wrap and had that with a cup of tea. We then just watched a bit of TV. I was just playing on Pokemon Go and Subway Surfer, listened to a bit of music. I then went up to my bedroom and was just doing some illustrations, a little bit of colouring in, and I got a snap of some flowers that I have in my room, and they've just come out really like nice and bright, and I just love the colours, and I'm going to show you guys a photo of that now. Love having flowers in my bedroom. I feel it like brightens the place up, makes it smell lovely as well. I then was just watching a bit of Netflix, just watching a bit of Merlin and watching a bit of Doctor Who and a bit of Friends. I then got myself ready and went off for a walk, and I went off to one of my favourite little coffee shops, and I had a hot chocolate and a white chocolate mint hot chocolate, and they're so good, and had a cinnamon bun, and I'm going to show you guys a photo of that now. I love the hot chocolates they do in there, they're just so delicious. And I had a cinnamon bun as well. I didn't actually eat it in there, I actually got it to go in the end. And I stayed in there for a little bit and was just chatting to one of the new girls that started working there, and she's so lovely. I then went off across the road to one of the flower shops, and I got some plant sets from there that I'm going to show you guys now. I got two snaps on there. I got one of this cabinet that they've got in there now with all the pretty plant pots on the shelf, and a little drawer they have in the front window of the shop, and I just absolutely love it in there. I love the patterns on the plants, all the cactuses, and yeah, it's just so lovely in there. I also got some flower stops on there that I'm going to show you guys now. Such lovely colours. I then made my way home. I got back and I was just watching Home and Away, just a bit of music, doing some drawing and colouring in, and I then was just sorting out my Blue Tack doll, tidying up my office as it was a little bit of a mess and where I'd be doing a bit of colouring in and working on some illustrations. And then me and my dad went off to go collect the fish and chips that my grandma and grandpa had brought for us to have for our tea, and I got myself an apple tango, and then I got back and I had fish cake and chips for my tea, and I'm going to show you guys a photo of that now. It was so delicious. I didn't eat many of the chips, but I did eat the fish cakes, and then my grandparents went off home and my older brother had rugby training, so he went off to that. I was then just watching the UK soaps, listened to a bit of music, finished off writing my journal. I then put that away and I was just watching a bit of Netflix. I then watched new Love Island that came back this week. Love a bit of Love Island. I love Ian Sterling's commentary, it just cracks me up. I then was just watching a bit of Nana McPhee. Love that film. It's probably one of my favourite films of all time. The ending is just so beautiful and it's so well written. Love Emma Thompson, what a legend of an actress. I then went off to bed, and on my Tuesday, which was my second of my 2 days off, was lovely because I was able to not have to set an alarm, and I got up nice and early so as not to sleep the day away, and I had a TV all to myself as my dad had got back from work and gone off to bed, and my mum had gone back to bed as she was up in the night and the others were all at work. I had some toast and a cup of tea for my breakfast, and I then got showered and changed and had a nice refreshing shower and was just blasting out my music, listened to a bit of Kylie in the shower, having a bit of a sing-song in the shower. I then was just watching a bit of Ginny and Georgia season 2 that I'm slowly making my way through. My friends have already finished all of it and they keep trying to tell me stuff, and I'm like, la, do you not want to know any spoilers? And I then was just listening to a bit of music, play on Pokemon Go and Subway Surfer, and then my family friend messaged me and was like, do you want to go off for a walk? And I was like, yeah, sure. So he came and picked me up. I left a note letting my parents know that I'd gone off for a walk with my family friend, just in case they woke up and like, where's our favourite child gone? And I locked up, took a key with me just in case I got back and they were still asleep or they'd gone out. And we went off down to the like sailing club where they have like a little marina where there's some boats and stuff, and it was lovely and sunny, a little bit cold. You could definitely smell the coldness in the air, and so I had my coat on, it kept me nice and warm, and I didn't fall over or trip over or anything like that, which was good. And I got a nice photo of the boats on the water that I'm going to show you guys a photo of now. It was such a lovely walk, lovely sunshine, blue skies, and my family friend took a load of photos of me, loads of candid shots and stuff, like my personal paparazzi. And then we made our way back and went off to my favourite old coffee shop, and I had a hot chocolate and a bit of blueberry cake, and I'm going to show you guys a photo of that now. It's so good in there. I also had a Coca-Cola and some tuna and cucumber sandwiches from there as well, and we stayed in there for a little bit and we were just chatting, and then he had to go off and run some errands, and I then went off and had a look in the charity shops, went into one of the book shops, went to W.H. Smith's. I then popped into my workplace and just was chatting to the people who were on shift. I then went off to one of the flower shops and I got some flower starts in there that I'm going to show you guys now. I love it in that flower shop, all the lovely colours. And I was chatting with the flower shop keeper and also got a photo of that flower wall and plant wall that I love with all the plants and flowers on there. And I'm going to show you guys a photo of that now. And after that, I went off to the Co-op and got myself some stuff for tea. I then got home and I watched Home and Away, just a bit of music, just drawing and colouring in, and my older brother was about for a bit at work. He then went off to rugby training, and for tea I had a microwavable spaghetti bolognese with a ton of Parmesan cheese, and also had got a cheesecake, so I had a bit of that with a cup of tea with a little bit of whipped cream on top. I'm going to show you guys a photo of that now. It was so good. I love spaghetti bolognese so much. It's probably one of my favourite meals to have, especially with lots of Parmesan cheese all over it. And the cheesecake was so good. Love a bit of cheesecake. That carrot cake and Victoria sponge cake are probably my top tier cakes to have. I just love them so much. I then was just watching the UK soaps, just a bit of music, and then I was watching New Waterloo Road. Waterloo Road came back a few weeks ago and I just love it. Brings back so many childhood memories of wanting to watch it, and yeah, I just love it. And they've got a load of like old faces in it, like Dante and Miss Campbell. Just love it. I then was watching New Love Island, and I already have my favourites. I then went off to bed, and then on my Wednesday, which is today, I was doing 10 till 3, and then I ended up doing a 10 till 5. So I was covering for one of my colleagues who wanted to come in at 5 instead of 3. So I thought, yeah, I'll stay on 2 hours extra, get a lunch break out of it. So yeah, I was like, sure. So I got up, got myself ready for work, had some flapjack and a cup of tea for my breakfast. My dad, older brother, sister, younger brother and sister at work. Mum was asleep. I locked up and made way to work, and I was a little bit early to work, so I popped off to the card factory and had a look in there, got myself some sweets from there, got myself a drink from the coffee shop, and also got a card from the card factory for my dad's birthday, which I know he's going to love. His birthday is until June, but it's good to be prepared. I then got to work, got clocked in, and had just been playing a bit of Pokemon Go whilst waiting to go into work. And then I put my bag coat away and I started my shift, and it was me and 2 other colleagues on, and we absolutely smashed it. It was quite busy. We had quite a busy morning rush, so I was running lots of food and drinks, cleaning tables, doing food and drink orders and bill taking, and even making food drinks. I was on bar for quite a while, and I had some of my sweets that I'd got from the card factory, gave some to my colleagues, had a chai latte, and I just love chai lattes at the moment. They're just so good. Also had a Monster Energy, so that gave me a bit of a boost. And I then had to pop to Aldi to get some eggs and bread for the kitchen, so got that. I then had my lunch break, and I bumped into my family friend who I'd gone on the walk with yesterday. He was there with his dad to have some lunch, and I sat on table 9, coincidentally where he ended up sitting. So we had a little cute lunch date, and I met his dad and was introduced, and I had a beef and chili and a fresh orange juice, and I'm going to show you guys a photo of that now. It was so good, definitely what I needed. I was feeling so hungry and definitely needed to have a sit down. So I sat and had that. I was just chatting with my family friend and his dad for a little bit. Finished off my food. I then put that away and continued on with my shift. And I was just doing lots of food and drink orders, bill taking, drink making, cleaning lots of tables, doing one ginormous big clean up. I then was doing a load of drink orders for this massive booking of like 10 plus people who was sat on this long big table in my workplace, and luckily they didn't want any food, it was just lots of drinks, so I was making my way through those. And then one of my colleagues was doing a split, so she went off and was coming back at 5, and I was asked if I could stay on till 5 instead of finishing at 3, so my colleague could come on at 5. And then one of my other colleagues came in and she's like, yeah, I'm covering for this person I was covering for in the first place. So I was like, well, one of my colleagues is back in at 5 after, because she's doing a split shift, so she's doing a 9 till 2 and then a 5 till close. So, and there was one of my supervisors still left on, so there's 2 supervisors on, so I thought I didn't need to be here, so I ended up doing 10 till 3-ish in the end anyway. So I clocked off, got my band coat and was heading off. We then got given our rotas for next week, and I'm doing my 4th consecutive split shift on a Sunday. So I'm doing 10 till 3 and then 6 till close. I'm doing till 10, and I'm definitely not finishing at midnight like last Sunday, but likely there's going to be 4 for on, so I should be able to get out there by 10 or earlier, hopefully. And then on the Monday, we're going for my colleagues are going for drinks, some of the staff are going for drinks in Bristol, and I was interested, but apparently I was too late to show interest, even though I was one of the first people. So now I'm having to work on Monday. Obviously I always enjoy their drinks, but somebody's got to stay back and hold the fort, and I mean, if it's going to be someone, it's got to be this guy here. And so I'm not mad. I didn't even want to be going all the way into Bristol anyway, and I said we'll have a party of our own. The ones that are left working will have a party of our own. And so yeah, I was a little bit annoyed, but I'm like, c'est la vie. And so I then went off to the flower shop and just had a chat with the flower shop keeper. Didn't end up getting any flower starts from there because they were about to close up. And then I went off to my favourite little coffee shop and had a white chocolate mint hot chocolate, and just had a bit of a rant to my family friend who I went on the walk with yesterday and saw in my workplace for lunch today, and saw him in there. So I was just chatting with him, and he kindly dropped me home, came in and had a chat with my mum, and we were just having a good catch up. He then went off, and my dad was just sorting stuff out as he goes fishing on Thursdays, so he was getting stuff ready for that. My older brother then got back from being at work, and him and my younger brother were getting ready to go off to rugby. I then got my uniform ready for my shift tomorrow. I was supposed to have Thursday, Friday, Saturday off, but I said I would cover for one of my colleagues, and now I'm like, I wish I just have said I wish I didn't say anything, because I would have had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I'd be back in Sunday for a split, but now I'm having Friday, Saturday off, but I still get 2 days off, so not too bad. So I got my uniform ready for that. I then had a cup of tea and some biscuits. I was just watching some vlogs and TikToks and watched the Bratz movie from 2007. So iconic, love that film. I then watched Home and Away, and I've got mac and cheese for tea. Can't wait, love mac and cheese. I used to hate it and now I absolutely love it. And I'm then going to be watching the UK soaps on Love Island. Just be doing a bit of illustration work, a bit of colouring in, sort out my bleach doll and put her away, and I'm probably going to wipe my journal whilst watching Love Island. Love the drama, and yeah, I hope you guys have all had a lovely week so far. All have a lovely rest of your week. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I shall see you with a new vlog coming very soon. Bye.